Welcome to the Becks, a podcast that explores multimedia horror with host Becky and Sydney. Join us as we talk about movies, books, video games, music, and much, much more.
Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Sydney Rebecca.
And I'm Rebecca Snow.
And we're the Becks. This week, we're talking about weapons.
Do you hear the inflection in her voice? She's super excited.
Becky's convinced I hate this movie. I don't hate this movie. We're going to talk about it.
I'm just not sure how you feel about this movie. Usually I can tell. Of
First,
course, I really wasn't sure about how I felt about this movie. When people were asking me, is it good enough to see? Yes, I 100% believe it's good enough to see. I didn't know how I felt about it, though, so I get it.
So you watched it twice.
Yes.
I've only seen it the one time. So why don't you take the lead on this one, since you've seen it twice and I've only seen it the one time.
So if you don't know what the premise of the movie is, it's about this city and this small elementary school. Obviously small because there's only 18 kids in the class. And one morning, a Wednesday in fact, they walk into class, teacher walks into her class, and all of her students but one is not there. And apparently at 2:15 in the morning, or 2:17 in the morning, all of the children got up out of their beds, walked out their front doors, and disappeared into the dark and never came back. And nobody knows where they are. It was just the kids in one classroom. And so you can imagine how that goes over, especially in a small town where everybody pretty much knows each other. But it didn't look like a small town to me. That's where I was confused, I guess, because they called it a city and it looked like a big city in a couple of the scenes. But anyway, small classroom, all kids gone except for this one little boy.
All the people in this town are rich.
Yeah.
Except the one druggie.
Even the teacher seemed like she had plenty of money because...
Yeah, she had a huge house.
Yeah.
Multiple bedrooms. Like, these people had money.
You have all these kids just missing. Poof. Gone.
The town blames the teacher.
Well, I think as a parent you would, because it's just that classroom. It's not like any other kids out of any other classroom. Of course, they're questioning the little boy that was left.
Yeah.
They're questioning the teacher. And some of the parents have video, like ring video of the kids leaving, and they're just running with their arms back.
Yeah, they're like out to their sides and back a little bit. It's like a Naruto run if you've ever watched an anime. It's stupid as fuck looking.
It really is stupid. That one kid, there's one scene, and I was going to say something to you last night in the movie. The one towards the end, like when they're showing all the kids running, his arms looked extremely long and weird. I was like, what is happening right there?
He's probably the older kid. He's like going through weird puberty or whatever.
Yeah. So what I did like about this movie is they went, and I don't know how you felt about it, but they literally did sections of the movie were just about certain people, like their perspective.
Yes.
Of what was happening. I really enjoyed that part of it.
No, the way that they told this story was super smart and interesting.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
So we get a perspective of everybody. We get a perspective of the teacher's view. Justine. The one dad.
Archer.
He's the father of Matthew, who is a bully. Matthew is a bully. But Archer, he actually has video of Matthew leaving his house and running like that. Mm-hmm. And
he's one of the few parents that have like surveillance footage of it happening.
Yeah. We get the police officers, Paul point of view. We get the drug addict's point of view. James. We get Alex's point of view, which is the little boy.
And the principal.
And we get the principal. Who...
Marcus?
Yes, it was Marcus. That one upset me. That one was a bummer. So, the movie starts out with just a child narrating, saying that they were going to tell the story of what happened in their little town and that how nobody believed it happened and everybody covered it up and because they couldn't explain it. Which I think that was a pretty good twist, too. It wasn't an adult. It was just this child's voice telling you that, oh, this is where the story begins, and this is what happened, and people died, and it's all true.
I have an issue with narration when it's not consistent through the movie.
Yeah?
We heard it only at the beginning and only at the end, and nowhere at all in the middle. Which, I understand why they did it that way, but it feels superfluous because we find out what happened through everyone else.
True.
So it wasn't totally necessary. I think it's good that it was a kid's perspective.
That's what I felt.
But I was, the whole time I'm like, whose fucking kid is this, though? Like, how is this kid involved?
Wow, you go way too deep.
At all. Well, it doesn't make sense. Like, any other character, they could have picked somebody who was, like, actually involved in the narrative. It is an unnamed child. This child we never see on screen. It's just their voice. I don't know. It's one of my... It's not this movie. It's specifically when they use narration like that. It's just a way to deliver exposition. And it's not necessary. Because, again, we hear several characters talk about what happens multiple times after this fucking stupid kid narrator tells us what happens.
She liked it from the kid's perspective, this stupid kid narrator.
If it was an actual character, I wouldn't have as much of an issue with it, but it wasn't. It was just a random child voice. It wasn't important to the plot at all. And that's what annoyed me about it. Anyway.
I found it charming.
So, Justine, I don't like this character at all.
Oh, I don't like the character at all either. I think she's a...
In fact, the only character I really liked was Archer. Because I found him to be incredibly relatable. And, well, I didn't have anything against Marcus, I guess, or Alex. But, like, Justine is, like, kind of the main character. At least she's the one who drives the plot forward because she sticks her nose in shit.
She is very nosy and very pushy.
And, God, they introduce her right away as, like, someone who has had issues with being inappropriate with her students in the past. Not like that.
Inappropriate meaning she hugged a little boy because he was crying, which you're not allowed to do, in case you don't know that. Teachers aren't supposed to hug children. She gave a little girl a ride home because she missed the bus, which, again, inappropriate.
Uh-huh.
And so she's done things like that. She hasn't been inappropriate as in physically or emotionally abusive or anything like that. She just steps that line that you're not supposed to step as a teacher.
Yeah. And I find her to be immature and petulant. And, like, don't get me wrong, I feel for her because she doesn't have anything to do with the kids disappearing. But everyone assumes that she does because it's her classroom. Only her classroom. But the common link isn't her, it's Alex. And you don't find that out until later on in the movie. But I feel like as a parent, I'd be like, yeah, that bitch had something to do with it.
Oh, 100%. I would have been Archer. He immediately was, she needs to talk. I have questions for her. What was going on in that classroom?
Yeah.
Because, again, it was only the children in her classroom. Mm-hmm. And only one remained. And so for me, I would be like, what did you do with my child? Mm-hmm. It has to be you. You are the link. You're not going to blame a child. You're not, because that's not where you lead to.
Right.
You're thinking, okay, so this teacher probably coerced them all to run away, to do this, to do that, and that one was left out or whatever. But, oh yeah, I'd have been 100% as a parent. I'd have had her. I'd have been at her house. I'd have been knocking on her door. Yeah,
she gets, like, threatening phone calls, and she gets, like, ding-dong ditched, and...
Someone paints witch on her car.
Which they never do confirm that it's Archer that does that. They show that he has the paint.
Yeah.
And it shows that he's, like, following her around.
But they never say he really
does. But they don't say it outright.
It's inferred.
Yeah, the implication is there.
But as a parent, what do? I mean, you're desperate at that point to find your child. So you're going to place blame where you think it's, belongs, and that obviously would be the closest place for it to belong.
Well, and that's kind of where I want to lead this point. Like, I thought pretty much immediately, because of how weird this story was, that it was probably, like, an allegory for something. And, like, my assumption immediately was, like, okay, one classroom, kids disappearing, whatever. I'm like, okay, it's about school shooting. Pretty easy to...
Well, yeah, to fall into that line, yeah. And you have the bullies, and you have things leading up to... Which, the bully in the classroom, part of the reason why it was easier for Alex to do what he did is because he had those feelings towards those kids. It wasn't as hard for him, I think, too. Other than he wanted his parents back, too. So.
Well, I mean, I see that point, and I raised this point. Like, well we're getting ahead of ourselves. Yeah. So... Justine is like an alcoholic, and she totally spirals after she gets like put on leave from her job because nobody wants her to teach.
But does she spiral? I think everything she's doing is very methodical. Like she knows what she's doing. I don't think she's spiraling. I think she just wants to talk to Alex, so she's going to talk to Alex. And I think that Marcus was right, because Marcus, when he tells her that she has to take time off, she's like, well, I want to talk to Alex. And he said,
I'm alone too. I'm affected too.
Yeah, and he said, that's the thing. You're putting yourself first. And you always do. It's always your feelings, what you want to do, what you think is right. And you need to step back and remember Alex has been through a lot.
Yeah, and I didn't think it was appropriate for her to try to talk to Alex.
No, I think she's a very self-centered woman.
I was mad. Like, she was following him around. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this bitch?
Yeah, she was totally stalking him, following the school bus home, going to his door, pounding on the door.
Like, that's making her look innocent as well. Like, she's hunting the last student that she had.
Yeah. She did say, we're the only two that are left. So, and I can understand, as a teacher, if you spend every day in the classroom with these kids, you do grow some fondness for them, obviously. And maybe she was worried about him, but she had been reassured multiple times by Marcus that he was okay. Mm-hmm. And that should have been enough for her, especially considering the situation. Everybody was angry at her and wanted to burn her at the stake because they thought she was a witch and had stolen their children.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing that was, I think, uniquely horrible about the situation in this movie is that it's not like the kids were dead. They just disappeared without a trace. So there was no closure at all.
Yeah, so you didn't know if the children were dead. You didn't know if they were kidnapped. You didn't know. There's just no idea. They got up and they literally walked out of their homes on their own accord, it seemed. There was no breaking and entering. They set their alarms off when they opened the doors, and they ran away. They ran. And so, yeah, a little bit creepy. The dad, Archer, he is watching the video over and over again. He's having nightmares. And he kind of maps out where his son Matthew runs when he leaves the house.
Just the direction.
Yeah. And he's mapping it out on a map. So then he starts looking for parents that have the video as well to see if he can compare their videos.
This pissed me off so
to
bad.
his videos.
Oh my God. I'm actually still fucking angry about it.
I would have done the same thing if I'd have talked to the dad and he told me no. I'd have gone to the mom. 100%. Oh, I'd have played that game. 100%.
Listen, I don't not understand it, but at the same time, if it was me and I told a man no, like, no, you can't have access to that. Yeah. I'm not comfortable with that.
He did. He asked the mom of one of the girls in the class if he could see the video, and she said, I'm not comfortable with that. So he
waited.
Sat outside their house.
Waited until the dad got home. So I'm the mom. I told this fucker no. And then my husband is like, oh no, he can watch it. Absolutely fucking not. Divorce.
Yeah, I would be pissed if I was the wife that said no too. But I also, Archer, I would have played that game myself. I would have been like, oh, I can, man to man. I would have been woman to woman. I can talk to her. She'll let me. He might not, but I think I can convince her.
It's just the way he just went over her. Like, there's just something about that.
Oh,
It
no,
just
I know.
fucking...
But if it had been the other way around, you probably wouldn't have been as angry.
Like, if it was a woman going
If it was a woman, like if she had gone to the dad and he said, no, I'm not comfortable with that, and she waited for the mom and talked to the mom and they let her in.
No, I think I'd still be mad.
Still be that mad?
I think I would, because it's like...
No, it is. It's totally kind of a betrayal.
Yeah.
You said no, and now I'm going against you and telling this person yes.
And then...
But
and
it turns out good because he does figure out something.
Yeah, he doesn't know the area in the map that it's, like, indicating. He's really confused about it. So, he's actually still following Justine around because he's convinced that she's a part of it. And he saves her ass. Because...
This part is just...
Marcus comes out of nowhere doing the little Naruto run and tries to kill her.
His whole face is covered in blood. And he tackles her at the gas pump, like, bam, he's on her.
Yeah, he, like, tries to take Archer out. Well, he just tries to take Archer out of the way.
Yeah, he doesn't care about Archer. He just wants to get to Justine and kill her,
and
apparently.
he won't quit. Like,
Archer climbs under a car. He runs into the store after. Archer tackles him and punches him.
Yeah, and he just won't stay down, and eventually Justine takes off. Like, she drives away, and he follows her, and he doesn't stop until he gets hit by a car.
Yeah. It's crazy. That's a real intense scene.
Yeah.
Now, that's what I liked about this movie. I'm not saying that the story or the plot or all of it was a great deal, but I really liked there were jump scares that were pretty intense.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but enough to just have you on edge because you didn't know what was coming next. I enjoyed the creepiness of the freaking kids because, I'm sorry, kids in horror movies are yuck. It makes it worse. Small children being creepy to me is a whole bunch worse than an adult. It just, don't like it. Don't like creepy children. Maybe because I was haunted by one. I didn't know she was there, but my kid did. But just, yeah, creepy children I like. And I did like the on the edge of your seat, not knowing what was going to happen next. I thought that was fun. It got my blood boiling a little bit. And it's been a long time since I've had a movie that made me go,
yeah, it's pretty intense. There were a couple times where I jumped and Becky laughed at me. And there were a couple times where my mouth was just hanging open because what the fuck?
Yeah.
That was a common refrain in my head when this movie was going on. I was confused and concerned.
I said what the fuck numerous times when Roger and I were watching it. There's this... So, Alex, his story is he lives with his parents. Very loving family. It's just him and his mom and dad. They live in a big, huge house.
By the way, just seeing how involved his parents were with his life, right off the gate, I was so depressed. Because I knew something had happened to them.
The whole story about Alex was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That bothered me. That part really bothered me about the kid. It was super sad. So he goes to school. His dad picks him up. He's all excited. And the whole time he's at school, he gets bullied.
Yeah.
Especially by Matthew. Matthew is just a little jerk. He's an asshole. So he's at school. His dad picks him up. He's coming home. And he's like, well, tonight's the night, buddy. Your mom's Aunt Gladys is moving in. Alex is like, why does she have to move in with us? He's like, well, she's sick. And we're family. And, family sticks by family. And he's like, but I don't even know her. He's like, hey, buddy, I don't even know her, So.
This whole scenario is so insane to me. Call me a cold, ruthless, horrible bitch. But if some sick old lady that I didn't even know was like, needed a place to stay, I'd be like, that really sucks. I'll send you a card at Christmas. Just forward me your new address whenever you figure that out.
They hadn't seen her for like 15 years, which is weird because she at one point says she saw Alex when he was just a baby. But they literally said they hadn't seen her in 15 years.
Well, that's probably just a plot hole.
Could be a plot hole, or she could just be creepy and was spying on them.
Yeah.
Because she had a plan all along.
True.
So anyways, creepy sick Aunt Gladys moves in with this tree bush thing that you see her moving in the middle of the night. Alex watches his dad carry her stuff in, and she's got like this plant. And it's the middle of the night when she shows up, which that in itself is freaking weird. Hi, I'm arriving at your house at midnight.
Which I'm still, I don't remember this. Did someone drop her off, or did she drive herself?
She had a car.
So she's super sick, and she has to live with somebody, but she can drive herself around? Okay.
I guess. I mean, it looked like she had a car because they were shutting the doors and...
Trust that bitch.
Anyway, so the next morning, Alex gets up and his mom's like, "You be quiet, your aunt's sleeping." So he goes sneaking to see what she looks like because, you're a kid. And he sees the bush in her room and some other stuff. And then...
Her wig.
Yeah, she's got wigs. And
I guess the implication is that she has cancer, maybe?
That's what I would have took it as, yeah. And then she's laying there with her eyes open, looking all dead, staring at him. And he's like, and slams the door.
Yeah.
And goes to school. And then his dad...
I can see how that would be scary for a kid.
Yeah. So his dad takes him to school. Brings him, and he tells him he'll pick him up at 2. His dad doesn't show up. So this kid walks. That's another thing where it looked like the city was much bigger because he was walking blocks away from home. He walks himself home. And goes in his house, and his parents are just sitting at the table motionless. Mm-hmm. Creepy.
But Gladys is there, and she seems better.
Yeah, she seems much better
and
than she did.
Just like, let's have dinner. And he's like, what the fuck's wrong with my parents?
Yeah.
He tries to splash his dad with water. It doesn't do anything.
So then she yells at him that he has to go upstairs and go to bed without dinner. And gets mean.
Yeah.
And that right there, I probably would have stabbed the bitch. You come in my house and look at my parents and they're acting weird.
This is the other thing, is when you were talking about Alex, like, giving up the other kids to satisfy her or whatever. I feel like it's definitely, like, and I mean, this is, I'm sure you're going to agree with me. It's very much an extreme of just a basic abuse. I say basic, but it's like the most stereotypical abusive relationship.
Oh yeah,
ever.
She had 100.
Because
she promised to go away if he.
Yeah, everything that she has Alex do, it's coerced.
Yeah,
because he wants to save his parents from her.
Well, she sits him at the table and tells him that he's not allowed to tell anybody that she's there. And then she...
Yeah, you can't tell anybody? Like, doesn't that sound like something?
Yeah. And then she takes the stick and stabs herself with it and starts to bleed and wraps hair around it and snaps it. And his mom and dad start stabbing themselves in the face with their forks.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
And he can't get them to stop.
Yeah, he can't get them to stop. And she's like, I can hurt them. I can make them hurt you. I can make them eat each other if I want to. Yeah. Do you believe me? You aren't saying anything to anybody. And so then he's got the stupid teacher, Justine, following him home, trying to get into the house, and he's freaking out because he thinks his parents are going to end up dead because...
Yeah, he tells Justine to stop following him.
Go away. Stop following me. Leave me alone.
And I'm like, and at first we see this from Justine's perspective. We don't know what's going on at home with Alex. I mean, we kind of suspect something weird's going on because there's newspaper all over his windows and nobody will answer the door when Justine comes. But also... first of all, leave the kid alone. You're being weird.
Yeah.
Okay, because it wasn't concern for him. It was, she was being nosy, and she wanted something.
I think she wanted to talk to him to try and get any information out of him that she could. Because I think she thought he knew something about...
And the thing is she wasn't wrong. But also, just like the fucking hubris of it, like, you are gonna solve it better than, like, the police are?
Yeah.
And that was the whole reason why she texted Paul. I mean, yeah, maybe she wanted to fuck him again, but he was just a line of information to her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. It wasn't because she was concerned about him.
Yeah.
It was because she wanted to know. She wanted to get the information.
And Paul, he sucks. He's a terrible person. Cheats on his wife.
Well, and Justine sucks, too, because she knew the whole situation, too, and she was being just as bad.
Well, to be fair, he did lie and say that they weren't.
He did, but she did invite him to the bar. He shouldn't have gone. But I think she was...
He said that they were on the outs or whatever. Yeah. So...
I do think she planned to sleep with him no matter what, if they were on the outs or if they weren't.
Oh, for sure.
I think they had a fucked up situation. And
I think the implication, too, was that he was sober.
Yeah, he was sober. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
but
she
Justine
ruined
was
that
like,
too.
drink with me. Just have one drink.
How can you... So that's another fucking thing, is like, if you know someone's suffering with issues with sobriety, you don't fucking invite them to a bar, and you certainly don't encourage them to drink.
No. I know a lot of people that are in recovery that can go around people that drink. Shout out to my friend Dawn. She has looked at me and said, I don't care if you drink, Becky. And that's perfectly fine. If I wanted to drink around her, I would drink. But I just feel better as being with my friend who chooses not to drink and is no longer using any kind of substances, to just not bring that around. I mean, why do I need to? I can have fun with my friend without that substance.
Yeah, well, and that's the difference between someone who, has an issue with drinking and one who doesn't.
Yeah.
You don't feel the need to drink. You don't have to.
No.
So.
And I don't feel the need to push that situation around or on my friend who is sober.
Yeah.
So shame on her for doing that. She knew he was sober.
Yeah, she's just a kind of
selfish.
Yeah.
Right back to the selfish. Not that he went, I mean, he's a piece of shit. He was married.
Yeah.
And
he obviously
was trying to have a baby and totally just.
He doesn't want a baby. He doesn't love his wife.
No.
He hates his job.
He kind of hates his wife, too, the way he was talking to her and acting.
Yeah.
And his father-in-law.
Who is like boss. The chief of police, yeah.
Also, he's a horrible person.
Which,
I know why he got mad at the guy. I understand why he got pissed off at the addict that he was arresting. But he cold-cocked him pretty hard.
So, here's my thing. Is like, I don't know a lot about, like, police procedure or whatever. But the whole fucking thing that he did. I understand him going after him because the guy was... This is James. He was clearly breaking in somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. No brainer there.
Ran away from the police officer. He's like, hey, police, stay right there. He took off running. So he chased him, which understood. You should. You're a police officer. But he catches him and is frisking him. And he asked him if he had anything in his pockets that would poke him, which totally I understand.
Yeah.
As a healthcare worker, police officer, first responder, whatever, I don't want to be stuck with somebody else's needle either. I just don't. There's too many things out there. And so he asked him, and the kid was like, no. Well, James lied. And first thing he does, he sticks his hand in his pocket to pull stuff out, and he gets stabbed.
With a needle.
And he just hauls off and punches that boy right in the temple.
Yeah,
just lays him out.
Knocks him right out. And then he sees that, he has a dash cam. It's right in front of his police car. So he unplugs it, but it's obviously too late. And so he decides to wake the guy up and like...
Try to bribe him. I'll let you go if you just stay away. Just stay away.
Yeah.
Don't say anything. Just stay away. You did me wrong, I did you wrong. We'll call it even. But you better not be seen here again.
Yeah. Which I really thought when James showed up again that he was just going to shoot him. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to watch this. Like, he's going to chase this guy down and he's going to shoot him. Which, this is at the point where we see James's perspective and he's strung out. He's trying to get money for drugs. He's always breaking into cars.
I love how he's walking, checking every car until he gets one that opens.
Okay, real quick, I want to rewind. When Justine decides to be drinking and watching Alex's house and she passes out, why would you not lock your fucking car? What the fuck?
I know.
Because she gets her hair stolen. It gets cut off. And at this point, we don't know why. We just think... I was just like, oh, Alex's mom is really fucking weird. Why? I
thought Alex's mom was just going to kill her.
Yeah, 'cause she had shears. Like, old-fashioned shears.
And when she walks out, she's like zombie-ish.
Yeah, she walks weird.
Quite creepy.
It was really weird. This director did Barbarian. And there were a lot of... Did you ever end up watching that?
I don't think so.
It's with the Airbnb. You would know exactly what I was talking about if you're... So...
I watched a movie with an Airbnb where they were in the woods and there were cameras and...
Yeah, that's not this one.
Okay, then.
The Barbarian takes place in, like, Detroit.
Oh, no.
So it's Zach Kreger. Yeah. So there were moments in this movie where I was like, oh, that's kind of like his thing because it was stuff that I recognized in Barbarian. There's like a strange mix of like absurdity at times where it's almost funny, but in the context of the movie, it's not supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's just like poor writing or if it's like his signature or what, but anyway, yeah, like how she moved and how she grabbed the hair and all that stuff. Like, lock your fucking car. What are you gonna? What the fuck?
No, I know. But yeah, he literally just, and then when he's wandering around James, he's just checking door handles, which is, they do that. Thieves do that. They walk through cities and neighborhoods and...
We live in a really small town and I always lock my car.
I do too, because I'll tell you why too. And in neighboring towns, they have had break-ins to cars, and it's people that have left like wallets or money in their car or whatever, and they leave their car unlocked because, oh, small towns, blah, blah. And they start opening, just walking through neighborhoods and checking door handles, and if they're open, they'll take whatever they can to get money to survive.
Wasn't there like a serial killer that would try doors, and if they were unlocked, he said that it was like a sign that it was okay for him to kill the people inside?
Oh, I don't know, but that creeps me out.
Yeah, there was like that just reminded me of it.
I really hate when I wake up and one of my kids has gone out the front door to let a dog out and they don't lock it. I get super angry.
That's fair.
But anyway, so he was checking doors. He was trying to get money to get drugs because he was tweaking. And so then he finds this house that...
And it's Alex's house.
It's Alex's house. And there's newspapers that have been delivered but not picked up.
Yeah,
so I always say don't do that because...
Yeah, to them, even with the car out front, it looks like it's vacant. Or it's been vacant for a while.
Yeah, nobody's there picking up the papers. So he goes in the backyard and climbs up the trellis and dives in a window that's open upstairs. And then starts... going through the house to try and find stuff worth selling at the pawn shop. And as he's looking at the TV and the movies and stuff, he sees a reflection in the TV, and it's Alex's parents just sitting there.
Yeah.
And he cracked me up because he was like, "Whoa, I'm sorry," and then realizes they're not moving. So he like gets in their faces and is like waving at them, and they don't move.
And then
he's just like, okay.
He's just like, okay.
Just starts loading up the silverware.
Is fair. I mean, if you're just going to sit there and let me steal from you.
Yeah, I guess. I'm out because that's creepy as hell.
No, I mean, and the dude was strung out again. He was doing heroin.
Yeah, he was desperate for... whatever.
And he makes his way to the basement, and that's where he
sees the kids.
Yeah. All the missing kids.
Just shuts the door. Oh, also says, I'm sorry. Because they turn around and look at him.
Yeah.
And he just shuts the door.
So that's my other issue, too, is one of the things that the narration at the beginning says, it says that they never find out what happens to the kids. And in the movie...
said that they never came back.
Yeah, which
they do.
Which I guess
they kind of didn't.
Is true in a way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That kind of
she really hates the narrator kid.
It irritates the fuck out of me. Anyway, so he runs away and he takes the stuff that he stole to the pawn shop and he gets money for it.
Which is hilarious because he knows those kids are in the basement and he's just worried about getting high. Well, which makes sense. He doesn't do anything till he sees the poster in the pawn shop.
He sees the reward poster. And
then he's like, oh. I don't think he'd have done a single thing about those children in the basement.
No. I mean...
had he not seen the reward poster for $50,000.
Well, again, he was super strung out. He was the one that was begging for change from Justine outside the liquor store.
He was tweaking. He hadn't had a high. He had his pipe and was trying to clean it out and couldn't get anything. And so Yeah, so he hadn't had his fix for the day, so he was freaking out. So he needed something, so he went and then he saw the reward poster for 50 grand and was like, you could see his face go like, yeah. So then he gets on his phone and he's like, how do I get the money? Well, I know where those kids are. No, I don't want to come to the police station, though. I don't want to come in. Can someone come to me? I'm phobic. And so next thing you know, you see him walking to the police station and Paul is after him.
And chases after him.
This is after Paul has been caught fucking around.
Yeah, because his wife goes after Justine, and then he goes and he admits to Mr. Chief of Police what happened with James.
Yeah.
Because he's scared of getting in trouble.
Yeah. And then after his wife finds out what happened and goes after Justine,
it's obvious that his father-in-law knows what happened.
Yeah. So now he's pissed and he's going to leave the police station, and that's when he sees James.
This bitch ruined his own life, by the way.
Exactly. Nobody did it.
Like, everything that happened was his own fault.
He should have never gone to the bar.
Yeah.
Married. He should have never gone to the bar to see Justine. He should have never took a drink.
Can we talk about how the reward was only 50 grand?
For 17 missing children?
I found that to be really low. Is that weird?
I thought it was too, because it's 17 missing children.
Let's do the math here. What is
50 grand divided by 17?
Yeah.
Sorry about all the noise I'm making here with my cup.
That is less than $3,000 a child.
Apparently, you can put a number on your kid.
That's insane. That's so low.
Especially some of these houses in the neighborhood.
These were all rich families. There was not a single poor kid. There wasn't a single poor person. The only person that was poor in this whole town was the drug addict. And
he lived in a tent.
Chances are he was rich before he got to that point, though, based on every fucking thing else in the town. So we haven't talked about Marcus at all.
Well, we got to talk about how James ends up where he ends up, though. Because James takes off running from Paul. He runs into the woods and then thinks he's all super cool. He's all high now because he had got his fix after selling the stuff and was going to go to the police station to get the reward.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, I knew it. I could do it. Yeah. And then he hears something in the woods. And then he looks over and you see this red-headed clown-looking thing.
Which other people have seen, too. Archer saw it in a dream. And Justine saw it
in her, maybe dream.
It was kind of a dream, yeah.
So he goes running into his tent and is like, it's not real. It's not real. He's high, so okay, maybe.
Yeah.
But then his tent starts unzipping. So he grabs a handful of his used needles. And the tent unzips and he jumps out and screams and stabs Paul in the face with 3 needles.
Yeah.
Which really pissed him off. He grabbed a shotgun. I thought he was going to kill him right there. But he's like, no, I know where the kids are. I know where the kids are. So he puts in...
I can't believe Paul listened to him.
I know. So he puts James in the back seat of his cruiser, and they go to Alex's house. And Paul goes in, and James stays in the car. And
For hours.
It's dark.
Because it gets dark.
So that's where we leave him. Let's talk about Marcus, the principal of the school. I loved him. I thought his character was funny.
He was a good one.
He was super annoyed with Justine, but he was super protective of Justine, too.
And he was very protective of Alex.
Yes.
Because he did, Justine called because she was like, I think something's weird's up with Alex. And to be fair, she was right.
And she did say the house has got newspaper all over the windows. He's like, you went to their house? You pounded on the door and rang the doorbell? You can't be doing this. And she's like, well, please just call Protective Services. He's like, how about if I have his parents come in and we have a talk? Mm-hmm. And she agreed to that. Yeah, that would be good. So he calls and his receptionist comes to his door and is like, hey, Marcus, your 2 o'clock's here. And she looks at him and he's like, okay, send him in. And she's like, right this way. And in walks
Gladys.
Gladys.
Which this is
The clown lady.
Yeah, it's the first time we see her. Because Alex's perspective, his chapter isn't until directly after Marcus's.
So she's got this micro bang wig that's bright red. The lipstick on her face is...
She should have redone it. Let's just put it that way. It didn't have to, like...
It was not on her lips. Well, it was on her lips, but it was also all over her...
It could have...
Around her face.
She could have had a second attempt. Like, she could have looked in the mirror and been like, you know what, I can wipe this off. I can do better than that.
She's very loud. She's very squeaky.
She's weird.
She's super weird.
This is when the movie kind of lost me. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm still I still am on the fence about it. I don't know if I like the twist.
What about it don't you like?
I think it's stupid.
Yeah?
I don't find old people to be scary.
Oh, you've not met the right old people.
You know what industry we work in.
You have not met the right old people.
No, I don't care. I don't care. There's this weird thing with Hollywood, because there was the M. Night Shyamalan movie, too. The Visit. Do you remember that? Where it was like the old people that had escaped from the insane asylum and were masquerading as the
But I think old witches are scary.
I don't know. To be fair, the performance of this actress was really good. I think she did a great job, and it was an interesting character. I just have an issue with it in the scope of this movie. So I think in a different movie, I would like it more.
So if she'd have been a young actress looking weird and acting weird, you'd have been all right with it?
No.
You just
I think
like the
entire
witchcraft
addition of a witch in this movie was dumb.
I think you should have got that there was probably a witch in it when they painted witch on the side of her car. I think that was like a foreshadow.
That's dumb, too.
Huh. I think we're going to disagree on this one.
That's okay.
It is okay, which is weird. We normally don't.
I guess I don't know what I expected from this movie. Which is fine, and there was something just very absurd about this, and I don't know if it's because Barbarian does something kind of similar. There's a weird kind of twist in Barbarian too, and it's also absurd. Barbarian, I think, did it better though, which you haven't seen it, so we can't really...
So did you know before going into this movie that he did this movie too? Like, did you know who the director was?
The whole reason why I like because I only watched the first initial teaser trailer, okay? And the first initial teaser trailer looked super interesting. I thought maybe it would be like a psychological thriller, because again, they don't give a lot out in teasers. And it said it was from the director of Barbarian. And I was like, I loved Barbarian. I need to see this movie. So that was the draw for me.
Okay.
But again, Barbarian does something kind of absurd in its plot twist. But I think it's either better executed or more believable in the story than this one is. There's just something I don't like about it. I don't know. I don't not like this movie. I did like it. It was entertaining. I was entertained. But there's just something I don't like about it.
So, obviously, the witchcraft you don't like. So what would you have rather seen the reasoning be behind the whole children disappearing?
I didn't expect the children disappearing to be resolved.
So you thought they would just be gone?
Yeah. And I thought that it would be more of like a psychological thriller about like those that remained and grappling with that. I just wanted some, like, if they were going to explain what happened, I wanted it to be something different. Because, so, okay, she meets the principal, and she's like, there's no need to call the authorities, sir. Everything's fine. I'm taking care of Alex's parents because Alex's dad had a stroke.
And the mom has consumption. Well, she said they both have consumption.
Yeah, which is like an old thing to say.
Yeah.
So I think the implication was that she's super, super old, like forever old, and she's just staying alive because she's a crazy witch lady.
And the reason she wanted the children is because she thought she could suck the life force from his parents, and it didn't work. So she
was still sick after.
Yeah, she was still sick. So she had.
It didn't cure her.
Alex bring her something from each child in the classroom. And
Yeah,
that's
'cause
what
she
she
needed-
used to call the children to her.
She needed something personal so that she could control them.
Yeah.
And while she's in the office, she, like, burgles Marcus's ribbons that he has.
This was a brutal scene.
Yeah, it's horrible because he's like, you know, somebody was just concerned, and so I just need to talk to his parents. I need to do a wellness check. You know, you're not good enough. You're not Alex's legal guardian. I need to talk to his guardians. Yeah. And she's like, well, surely there's no need. Yeah. You didn't contact anybody,
and
right?
She's like, oh, you know, his dad will come in on Monday. And he's like, okay. But she shows up at his house. Yes. He's like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, I missed the bus tonight. And he's very uncomfortable with it. But his partner, he's gay. And his partner is like, she's like, can I have water? And he's like, no, sorry. But his partner's like, yes, you can come in. And then she asked for water in a bowl. Dude, get the fuck out of my house.
I know. I was like, okay, so I didn't make the connection between the bowl of water that she used to break the spell, like, when she was with Alex's parents, like, right away. I did when she didn't drink it, because I thought maybe she was just... But I thought she was gonna lick water up like a dog. I really thought, because she was so weird, I was like, I could see that happening on screen right now. I was waiting for it. But no, it was because of her witchcraft. But also... I don't know if this is another thing where, like, I'm a cold bitch, but if some crazy fucking old lady came to my house wanting a glass of water, I'm not letting you in my house.
Dude, when I first moved into this
house... Go to
house,
the Shell station down the road and ask them for a cup of water.
I moved into my house in November of 2019. COVID hit, obviously, just a few months later. And I didn't know any of the neighbors. None. And we were moving stuff out of here because they left all their furniture behind. And my porch was covered in old furniture because we were moving it out. And this old lady came to my screen door, which I have a covered porch that has a screen door and then a regular door into the house. And she came to my screen door and started pounding on the door. She wanted to know if her friends still lived here, if they sold the house, because they'd been gone for the winter, I guess, and they were back. And I literally was like, I am quarantining. Go away. And I mean, this lady had to be in her 80s. She lives over there somewhere. Slammed the door in her face. I was like, good. See you, bye.
That's how you stay alive.
So if some weird lady's coming to my house asking for a glass of water, I'm not letting her in.
I live in fear that someone will knock on my door. I don't like when people knock on my door either.
It just makes me nervous.
Because people who know me know that we need to make plans.
Yeah, that's how I am too.
So if I know you're coming over, like, it's one thing. But people who knock don't belong there. Like, you ever watch, I don't know, you probably haven't watched these movies. There's a scene where, in The Hobbit, where he's, like, sitting down to eat dinner, and the door, like, someone knocks on the door. It's the dwarves that are starting to show up, and he gets this look on his face. That's how I feel.
Understand.
If you've seen the movies, you understand. It's just like, just don't trust people. I don't care how old they are or what they're doing. Okay, if they need help that bad, guess what? You can call 911. Okay? It's not my responsibility to help you. And maybe that's cold. I don't know.
Oh, I think you're cold, but...
But I'm alive! So, yeah, it goes horribly wrong. She fucking cuts off Marcus's boyfriend's, like, part of his hair and makes Marcus kill him.
Yeah.
Brutally.
Extremely brutally.
I could not
awful.
Watch it.
No.
I literally, I don't know if you saw me, I had my hand up. I wasn't looking at it.
It was rough.
I don't like hyperviolence. I don't know if... Like, I think it's getting worse, like, as I get older, but I just have such a low tolerance for it. Like, I remember James and I like superhero stuff, so we were going to try to watch Invincible. It's like an animated show. Mm-hmm. And the very first episode, one of the main characters kills, like, the whole team. of superheroes that he's, like, supposed to be allied with. And he kills them all super violently. And keep in mind, this is a cartoon, but it literally bothered me. I was like, it was so violent that I was like, okay, I don't think this show is for me. And it never used to be that way. I mean, I wasn't like, yeah, violence. But I never, like, it didn't turn my stomach the way it does now. Like, it's just, there's something about, like, people brutally dying that I'm just like... And there's a scene later on in this movie when she takes a vegetable peeler to that guy's face.
That I couldn't watch.
I couldn't watch
time. Either time I couldn't watch it.
I was not watching that. No, sir. Yeah, Marcus is, like, taking over. Which she uses a bell to, like, trigger it.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense. Like, what is it about? Like, is it just her powers? Like, with the... Because at least with, like, when she takes their hair and stuff... and she activates it with her blood, that makes sense because there's like a physical element connecting. But
she had his ribbon on the stick.
On the stick, but what about what is the bell? Like what's special about the bell? Like they never explain that, which is fine, but
Maybe that triggers it. No, the snap triggers it. I don't know.
So she rings the bell and then he kills his husband or boyfriend.
Like, when she rings the bell, he just kind of stops.
Yeah.
And then when she snaps it, that's when he
attacks it. Yeah.
So I guess the bell is what brings them into her power.
Yeah.
And then the snapping is what causes them to go crazy.
And that's when Marcus tears, like, as soon as his husband's dead, or boyfriend, I don't know if they were married, that's when he tears after Justine and that whole thing.
So there is a lot of violence. Not a lot of violence, but there's gore. There is gore in this movie.
When violent things happen, it's very brutal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because even watching Alex's parents stab themselves in the face with a fork, even though it wasn't, like, super gory or anything like that, it was pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I couldn't watch that.
So, Archer is at the hospital after Marcus attacked him, and he and Justine kind of... find common ground, I guess, because they're like, what the fuck? Yeah, they
kind of bond because they saw Marcus go insane and then he got hit by a car and slaughtered, but yeah, no.
So then, they bond over it, and I think Archer kind of realizes...
Yeah, she says, I've never seen anyone act like that before, or do that before, and he said, I have.
Because he ran the way.
He ran the way Matthew did the night he disappeared.
And that's when he shows her the map with the direction that the two kids ran in, Matthew and that little girl.
And he's like, I don't know what's around this area. And she's like, oh my gosh.
It's Alex's house.
Alex lives right there.
Yeah.
And so they go and they're sitting there watching and they see that the police are there.
And Paul beckons them in eventually.
Yeah. And he's like, do you know him? And she's like, yeah, that's Paul. And so they go in. Right before they come in, Aunt Gladys tells Alex, we're packing our stuff and leaving in the morning. I think she knows they're caught. I mean, the police have been there. The drug addict's been there. She knows that she's being watched. She knows that Justine's probably not dead because she kind of can foresee these things. So she puts a line of salt outside her bedroom and has Alex's parents stand right up against her door. And she's like, pack your stuff. We're leaving in the morning and don't cross the salt line. When Justine and Archer go in the house, Justine crosses the salt line. Yeah. And Archer notices it just as she's crossing it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Paul and James are screaming, chasing them. It
seemed to cease to matter after...
I think once they crossed the line, it activated whatever.
Yeah, because it didn't matter where
it wasn't
there was
like salt. A protection outside of it.
Yeah.
I think that's what she set up just to activate them to go nuts.
Yeah, it was
and protect.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, so I thought that part was hilarious with Archer and James.
James just wouldn't stop. He just kept getting up and screaming and running at him and getting up and screaming and running at him. And
he's like, you freaky little fucker.
And Paul, meanwhile, is attacking Justine, and she has to just kill him with his own gun.
Yeah. But she had to shoot him in the head.
Yeah, because she shot him in the neck first, and that didn't kill him.
So then, Archer's being attacked by James, and they fall into the basement.
And that's when he sees
that's
the
he
kids
sees the
down
kids.
there. So after Justine kills James, because again, he can't like knock him out. It's not working.
Yeah.
Justine shoots him, and I did love how Archer like immediately ditched Justine. Like he did not give two
knew
fucks.
The kids were there, so he was out.
He was like, whatever, which is fair.
Yeah. And so Alex, meanwhile, has come up with a plan. He steps over the salt line to trigger his parents, who start chasing him, and that was terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, it reminded me of The Shining.
Oh yeah.
Through the door.
I'm sure that's 100% inspired by.
But to see your mother like that bothered me a little bit. I was like, oh, that poor kid. So he triggers his parents to chase him, and then he's running around.
And he winds up in Aunt Gladys's room where the tree is, and he
steals a branch from the tree and her wig.
Yeah, and he finds one of her real hairs.
Yeah.
Sewn into it or like tangled in it, and he
does the spell.
Yeah, with his blood.
And sets the children after her. And she was in the basement with all the children, and she turns Archer into her little minion too.
Oh yeah, Archer.
And he goes up and is going to kill Justine, and she's literally standing there. Gladys is watching him, and she's like, "Yeah, just like that," as he's choking her to death. And then she hears feels the twigs snap, and she's like, "Oh no!"
And then she's running, and the kids are chasing
and that was ridiculous, kind of.
Yeah, that's part of the absurd thing.
That was pretty absurd.
Which, they catch her eventually, and they tear her apart, which is pretty satisfying. I don't understand why the magic worked for Alex. That was another issue I had. I didn't if he had just set the tree on fire and that broke the magic or whatever.
Okay, but isn't the tree the magic with the blood? It must be an ancient kind of tree that with the blood and the hair.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you don't have to be a witch to use magic, so.
But don't you have to be a witch to use magic?
Can't anyone do a spell if you learn how to do it?
I suppose.
And if the magic is in the item that you're using to cast the spell, then really it's not you it's what's in the items that you're using. Because if I make a love potion and I give it to you, it's not because I'm the witch that created it. I put the ingredients that were meant to cause this whatever.
Well, I guess it depends on what kind of magic system the world you're operating in is.
I guess. This is way too deep of thought for me. So anyways, it worked for Alex.
I don't know. I just asked these questions. I'm sorry.
I gave you a perfectly good explanation.
No, it was a good explanation.
I thought so. It was the magic bush. They need to get rid of that thing. Yeah. And the bell.
So then the narrator comes back and is like, yeah, so the witch died and the kids were returned, but they weren't the same. And some of them never even talked ever again. Yeah. But some of them did. And Alex went to live off with a nice aunt. Yeah. Who loved him.
To live with another aunt. I heard she's a nice lady. And that was it.
You know what? I don't think I like this movie.
No kidding. I couldn't tell.
The thing is I was entertained watching it.
It is entertaining. It's not a movie that I would want to own. I just really wanted to take you so I could watch you in the jump scares because they were good. They were really good.
Yeah. And there weren't a lot. This is the thing, is I don't like jump scares because I think they're cheap. But I think all of the jump scares in this movie were used in a very smart way that amped up the tension of the movie. It was purposeful. It wasn't just for cheap scares. Yeah. There was reasons behind them. So I think, the cinematography in this movie was really interesting. I thought the one time when Justine was trying to leave the gas station through the emergency door and it was deadbolted, how the camera was attached to the door. Yeah. And the way that the movement was jerky, that was cool. There were some, tracking shots that he did with the cameras and how he moved the actors and directed it. And the cinematography was just really good. Yeah. Super interesting. And the performances were all really good. Excellent acting from everyone involved.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was an entertaining movie. It's not one of my favorites. I enjoyed the intensity of it because there were a lot of scenes where you were on the edge of your seat.
100%.
You know, where Marcus was chasing her and there was nothing anybody could do. And just, yeah, there was a lot of that. I did think it was slow at the beginning.
Yeah, it definitely was slow to start.
Because I was like, what's going to... I thought this was going to be very interesting.
That brings me to one other point I want to say. I do think this movie was too long.
Oh, it was over 2 hours. It was very long.
It did not
There was
need
a
to
lot
be
of
that
stuff
long.
that they could have cut out. Yeah, I agree.
I'm not saying it needed to be snappy, because I do think that it being slow at the beginning was actually important, because it needed to be established. Like, shit needed to be established. So I'm fine with a movie that is like a slow burn. That's fine. It did top 2 hours, and that was too long. It just was too long. I think horror movies, again, I think most of them shouldn't be longer than like an hour 45. If you can't tell your story within those confines, with some exceptions, which we've talked about before.
Yeah.
This story, I don't think, needed a over 2 hour long run.
No,
time.
I think there were some that could have been cut out. But, yeah, no, I enjoyed it. The only reason I went to see it twice is because I wanted to go with you. No one would go with you because no one loves you.
Wow. Well, you and I, if you remember, had plans to go see it together, and then you betrayed me.
I'm just fucking with you. No. So I wanted to go with you so I could see your reaction. It probably would have been more fun for us both to see it the first time, but you still would have hated it.
Because we both would have been like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, no, the whole thing was like, what? Oh my god. Okay.
I do think I will watch it again, like when it comes out on streaming free somewhere. I don't think I'll spend money on it again, but I would be interested in seeing it a second time, because I think there's little subtleties in places that, like, I probably miss. Because, again, you do see the lady a couple of times. Mm-hmm. The first time she showed up, I'm like, why the fuck is there a clown in this movie?
Yeah,
because
no,
her
100%.
makeup was so
I did the same
bad.
thing. I was, what? But, yeah.
Who is this? And then, you know, when she finally, like, made her debut on screen, I was like, what? And it wasn't an excited what. It was like a, what the actual fuck is this movie doing to me right now?
Crazy old witch ladies, don't move them in with you.
You know, maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I'll, like, really like this movie one day.
Maybe.
Because I have been known to change my mind on movies before. I'm trying to think of an example. I can't really think of one right now. I have been meaning, actually, to give It Follows another try. Because the first time I watched that movie, I fucking hated it.
I don't think I've ever watched
It has, like,
It Follows.
It has, like, a huge cult following now, and I'm like, maybe I missed something.
I need to be in the cult. We don't like Witch either, and that has a huge cult following.
It does. And I have given that one multiple tries, and I just can't do it. I'm sorry. If I want a story that gives me what everyone says the witch gives them, I'll just read Slewfoot again.
Oh, Slewfoot. Good, good, good.
So, speaking of which, what are we talking about next time?
I have no idea.
Something.
Yeah.
Let's do Rosemary's Baby.
Okay.
We'll do book movie thing again.
Book movie thing again. Cool.
Can I admit something?
You've never watched it.
I've never watched Rosemary's Baby. Again, that's another one I've seen.
Have you ever read the book? She also hasn't seen Jaws. Jaws. One of the scariest movies ever in the 70s.
Well, I've never found sharks to be scary. Which is funny because I like, okay, first of all, I know we don't live by the... I know we don't live by the ocean, but we do live in Michigan, which is the Great Lakes state. So I've always grown up around water, but there's just I've never been scared of sharks. I've been scared of other water-related things, but not sharks.
Do you know that there's...
Sharks have never scared me.
Did you know that there's like a freshwater jellyfish in the lakes?
Like, in...
The Great Lakes?
The Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I saw that yesterday.
Is it invasive?
Yeah, I believe so.
Of course it is. 'Cause I haven't
But
heard
they're
about
not harmful.
Harmful as in they're not harmful to the environment?
Like, they don't sting people a lot.
Oh.
Yes, freshwater jellyfish are present in the Great Lakes and other Michigan waters, so they are not native to the area, originating from Asia. These tiny, harmless jellyfish can be found in lakes, rivers, and streams when water temperatures are warm enough, and they are often spotted in late summer. They're tiny, about the size of a dime. There you go.
That's weird as fuck.
Yeah.
The more you know.
There might be. You never know. They're going to come up with a freshwater shark, and then we'll all be dead.
Well, there's sharks that are like brackish adaptable that can go from salt to fresh, like bull sharks can. They've come up the canal before. I don't know if they've ever actually made it to the Great Lakes, but bull sharks have gone up the canal.
No.
All right, we're done here. We're packing it up. Bye-bye.
Good, because it's like an hour and 15 minutes. You know, too long of a movie, too long of a podcast.
Yeah, we're certified yappers. I remember when we first started this, we're like, we need to keep the episode short.
30 minutes or less.
And then that just never happened.
I think the only one ever 30 minutes or less was me talking by myself.
Today the pod, tomorrow the world. My name is Sydney Rebecca.
And I'm Rebecca Snow.
And we're the Becks.